Welcome to the Mystic Temple podcast, guided by the insights of the Divine Mother, Monica Bay. Here we present the audio versions of the Divinity Sessions for Mystic Circle TV, delving into the Book of Rashida and its profound teachings for spiritual growth and enlightenment. For those who are drawn to the visual aspects, you can visit MysticCircleTV.com to watch the video versions of these Divinity Sessions. You can also go to mystictemple.org for more information, to read passages from the Book of Rashida that have been released so far, and to connect with fellow seekers under the guidance of the Divine Mother. Now, let's dive into the transformative wisdom of today's Divinity Session on the Mystic Temple podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mystic Temple, Spirituality for a New Age. I'm Monica Bay, also known as the Divine Mother, and I am here to bring you truth. So I have an important announcement to make. We are now going to be doing introductory calls. Introductory calls are discovery calls for you to know more about Mystic Temple, actually speak to me, ask some questions, and things like that. I'm going to put the link down here below, though. And you can register for whichever date works well for you. We're going to be having them weekly, indefinitely. And for as new people, because you know we're doing the Global Awakening Initiative, and word is really getting out there, and we are really spreading the word of the Book of Rashida. And the fact that all of this is happening, we are really moving this revolution forward. So as new people find out about Mystic Temple, find out about me, find out about the Book of Rashida, we'll be having these introductory calls to really let you in on everything that we're doing, what's really going on, understand what we're teaching, understand what the Book of Rashida is teaching, and also you will get an opportunity to ask me questions directly and really get some clarity on anything that you'd like clarity on. So the calls are going to be done via Zoom. So all you have to do is register for whichever date and time works for you, and I will see you there. All right. So we're going to get into a very exciting and powerful passage from the Book of Rashida today. Okay, and it is as follows. Tell them now who sent them, who sent me. We are here to change the very fabric of which they rely on, to create a new beginning, to reach the light that belongs to us all. Okay, so that was short but powerful. So we're going to break that down because once again, it is layered and layered with meaning. So first of all, when it says, tell them now who sent them, who sent me, what they're referring to is the divine essence, the divine energy, the force that we all come from, which we've talked about a lot in terms of the light and the divinity inside of us and outside of us and in everything that exists. Tell them now who sent them, who sent me. Again, really correlating to the fact that we are the same. So they're referring to the divinity that we all come from is the same divinity that the cosmic collective consciousness comes from. It is all one. And I thought it's interesting that they use the word now in this sentence. Tell them now who sent them, who sent me, because now is the time for all of you to recognize and understand who sent you, what sent you. It's a force. And they use the word who because our human brains can relate to it more. It's not a who. Okay, it's really an essence, okay? But we can personalize that by using the word who. So they are referring to the divine essence that flows through all of us. It's the same divine essence that flows through the cosmic collective consciousness that is writing the Book of Rashida, that is here coming through me, right, to speak to you all and to give you all this important message. And again, them is referring to all of us humans on this planet, all of these souls that are inside of these bodies, right? And we are all here to change the very fabric of which we rely on. Because in this passage, it says, we are here to change the very fabric of which they rely on. Again, referring to all of us as they, okay? The very fabric in which we rely on. What is the fabric of which we rely on? The fabric of this entire plane, this entire physical plane. So this is a very, very important passage here because it says we are here to change the very fabric of which we rely on. What do we rely on? We rely on the fabric of this illusionary world that we live in. We are here to change the very fabric of that. So are you picking up what I'm dropping down? This is this is serious. So this really, really is illustrating and revealing to us what is happening right now and what we are here to do right now in this moment. And this is, again, why the Book of Rashida is coming out to all of you right now, why this is going to be the biggest thing that has happened in the history of spirituality in the world. Okay, because I've already seen it. They've already showed it to me. We're only at the ground floor, only at the very beginning right now. So this is what we are here for, to change the very fabric. And by acknowledging your divinity, by receiving this information from the Book of Rashida, and by acting on this information, by transcending this physical plane while we are still in this physical plane, by focusing on our transformation in order to ascend, okay? By doing all of this and continuing on our spiritual journey, this is what we are doing. We are changing the very fabric of which we rely on. We are changing the very fabric of this world. And I really want you to understand, when the word fabric is used, these are the threads that make up this world. These are the universal laws that we live by. These are the governments. These are the socioeconomical systems. These are societal norms. This is everything. When we're talking about fabric, I really want you to understand that it's talking about the deepest level. We're talking about quantum change. So let's talk about that fabric for a moment. The fabric in which we live in. We're going to talk about not necessarily the illusion of the world right now. Because that is the entire fabric. I want to talk about, because there's multiple layers here. So they're talking about different kinds of fabrics. One of the fabrics that they're definitely talking about is our society that we live in, right? And so we have an entire world with a bunch of different cultures, bunch of different countries, and everyone's society is slightly different. But there are major similarities among all of the cultures, among all of the countries in this world, that our society as a whole, collectively, is one of fear, is one of self-hate, is one of guilt, is one of all these negative energies. And it's built into our societies to control us. It is built into our societies to control us. Every single society right now has this issue, okay? And this is why we are here to rise up and revolt. We are here to awaken and revolt. Ooh, I'm getting chills. I'm getting chills on that. And what are we revolting from? What are we revolting from? We are revolting from social control. We are revolting from mental control. We are revolting from our spiritual control, okay? The control that we have allowed others to have upon us. It is time to take our power back. That is what this passage is saying. To change the very fabric. How do you change anything? You have to disrupt things in order to change things. First of all, that is something that is always the fact, okay? In order to change something, you have to disrupt something. Remember, many sessions ago, we talked about the smoke of fire. In many passages ago, we talked about the smoke of fire. And what is smoke of fire? It is the result of a transmutation, it is the result of change, of transformation, okay? Fire transforms, it transmutes. And so bringing that back to what we're talking about right now is, in order to change, you must disrupt, you must deconstruct, and you must rebuild anew. And so we are here to change the very fabric of which we rely on. So when I talk about this new world in the prophecy that I gave in Divinity Session number 7, if you didn't catch that, you definitely want to go back to that and catch that prophecy that I received. And I receive a lot of prophecies, and I will share them as I'm told to share them. I don't always share them. So if I'm told to share them, I will. But that prophecy talked about a new world. And the Book of Rashida talks about a new world. This is the world that we're moving into. This is what we are preparing for right now. This is the disruption that is just beginning right now, in order to change, in order to create that smoke of fire, in order to transmute the existing reality into a new reality. And this new reality is going to be amazing, okay? As long as we do our job right, this new reality is going to be amazing. So again, the very fabric of this reality is going to be different. That means everything. That means everything. Another thing we are definitely revolting from is our fear-driven society. Fear like I said in the last Divinity session, fear it's very easy to control human beings with fear. And this is why every government does it. This is why every institution that seeks to control their people do it. They throw in things to make you afraid, to push you in this direction. And again, that's not what we're about. We are anti-fear. Okay? We are anti-fear. All right? We are pro-power and anti-fear. Okay? And we are revolting from this. This is what we are here to do. We are here to revolt from the fear-driven society that we're currently in. We are here to change it. We are here to move forward past it. We are here to transcend that. Now, how do we awaken in order to revolt? You have to awaken first before you can really revolt, because you don't know what you're revolting for if you don't recognize that the illusions and the systematic control that everyone has over you right now. Most of you are not in control at all of your thoughts, of your likes, of your dislikes, of your beliefs. A lot of you have limiting beliefs, and some of you may not even realize you have limiting beliefs. It's because we are fed information. We are fed false information. We are fed skewed information. So how do we awaken? First of all, question. This is one thing that is not as common as we would like for human beings. It is not as common as we would like. Question things. A lot of people, when they hear information, they just go with it. They take it and run with it, and they assume it to be true, and they go with it. Question. Ask questions. When you start to ask questions, you start to actually get answers. When you start to ask questions, you start to dive deeper, and you start to break through the illusionary surface level stuff that is put out there for you guys. A lot of the, we talked in a previous Divinity session about lies in plain sight, right? There's a lot of deception in plain sight. And we just take it and run with it. And then we regurgitate and go. I'm talking to you pseudo-spiritual people out there who just they hear something and they just keep regurgitating it, and then it passes on, and then lies over time become truth. Okay? Ask questions. You should question things. You should really want to know the real answer behind things, and you should question your beliefs. Why do I like something? Why do I have this opinion of this? Why do I have this visceral reaction to certain topics, right? In a certain way. There are a lot of illusions that you have around you all day that you don't realize that are creating fear in you. When you're stressed out, that is rooted in fear. What are you afraid of? Right? Your mind, usually there's nothing happening. There's nothing going on, but you're actually stressed out because you believe it subconsciously and internally that, oh no, this is going to happen. That's going to happen. We are raised in this energy. We are raised in fear, and we are trapped in fear, but no more. No more. This is why the Book of Rashida is out. This is why Mystic Temple is here. No more are we allowing fear to run us. No more are we going to allow lies and deception in our world, in our minds, in our hearts. And part of this shift is also changing the way that we see things, our perspective of things, and in moving from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. Because the reality is we are taught that, oh my God, we have to hurry up and do this, we have to do that, and there's scarcity, not lack. That's what we're taught. But the reality is the universe is abundant. Our power is abundant. It is limitless, literally limitless. Okay? So there is absolutely nothing that we can't have or do, and there is plenty of everything for everyone in this world. We don't need to step on each other to get ahead. All we have to do is get ahead. Just put in the work and get ahead. You don't have to step on someone to get ahead. You don't have to. That's a scarcity mindset. As if this person is surviving and thriving, you can't, right? These are the things that we have to start changing in our minds in order to awaken so that we can revolt. I mean, all of that is lower level energy. We need to rise. We need to rise and elevate ourselves. We need to elevate our energy. We need to elevate our spirit. We need to elevate our vibration here while we are on this planet. This is what we need to do right now. And that's why they said now, okay? Because now is the time. So I encourage all of you to begin raising your vibration. And sticking with Mystic Temple, this is exactly what we're going to be doing, is raising your vibration. Next week, I'll be coming out with the program that I've been telling you guys about, that the Cosmic Collective Consciousness has given me to give all of you. And this will be the plan. This is the blueprint, okay, to get to ascension, to the highest levels of ascension. Because again, we are ushering in this new world. So stay tuned next week because we'll be talking about that. And one thing that has been shown to me by the Cosmic Collective Consciousness is the reality that as we as a collective shift our vibrations, the fabric of this world shifts as well. Everything is an act of creation. Everything is an act of transmutation. So as we continue to transmute ourselves, the energy that we then put out into the world begins to transmute the world. Hear that, okay? Run it back. Because this is a very, very important message that's coming through right now. Extremely important message that we need to collectively raise our vibration. And as we do so, the fabric of this reality, the fabric of this illusionary world, the fabric of society begins to change. So you'll see, it's actually going to happen pretty quickly considering everything. And in a previous passage, it said, it is time to show the world what we are made of. We can create this world. We can do this together. It's important for us to be able to do this together. So how do we do that, right? Again, we'll be coming out with that program next week. But in addition, begin changing your mindset. Begin focusing, being aware. Again, this is another theme of the Book of Rashida that clearly continues to talk about awareness and mindfulness. Why is that important? Because if we are not aware, how can we possibly change and improve if we are not aware, right? And in order to change the fabric of this world, we need to change and we need to improve. And that requires destruction of the current status quo. And that's what we're doing. That's why this is spirituality for a new age. Okay? Everybody's running around here rampant, doing what they're currently doing. We're putting an end to that. Okay? We are putting an end to that. I'm telling you right now. Be forewarned. We are putting an end to all of that. So as we are changing and transforming, one of the things we need to keep in mind is our authenticity. This is part of breaking those chains. This is part of awakening and revolting, because everyone wants to put you in a box. Everyone wants to tell you what you need to be, what you should and shouldn't do. This is freedom. Mystic Temple and the Book of Rashida is here to give you freedom. We are here to liberate you. We are here to liberate you so that we can collectively change the fabric of this world into a liberated one, into one where we are all free, where we are free from all the boxes and categories people want to put you in, free to live our authentic selves, free to share our gifts as we want to share them without shame or without judgment. Many of you have spiritual gifts and you are afraid to share them. This message is coming through strong right now. Many of you right now watching this know that you have certain gifts and you compartmentalize your personality, you compartmentalize your persona. With these people, you'll be fully expressed. With these people, they have no idea all the amazing things that you can do. They have no idea your gifts because you dumb yourself down. You dim your light for this group of people. Or you may dim your light for the whole entire world because you're making an assumption that no one will understand you. You're making an assumption that no one will connect with you, that people are going to judge you. And this is the control that is built into our society right now. This is the control. Don't be different. Be like everyone else. Let's all file in and be copies and clones of each other. No, no more. No more are we doing that. We are not doing that anymore. We need to kick that to the curb, okay? And live your authentic life. Begin living your authentic life. Whatever it is that in you that is authentic to you, that is your superpower, that is what makes you special. I'll tell you one thing, whatever makes you different makes you special. Whatever makes you different is a part of your gift. We all have gifts. Some of them spiritual, some of them not. Everyone really, I haven't met anyone who doesn't have a spiritual gift, at least one, right? But whatever your gifts are, right? Because we have gifts that are spiritual and gifts that are not spiritual. The mundane gifts, like, knack for speaking to people, really good with money, you're good at communicating, you're good at management, whatever that is, right? Those are gifts that you have. But in addition to that, you also have spiritual gifts. And all of that collectively together is your sweet spot. That's what makes you special. And what do we do in our society? We dumb those things down. So what I'm saying to you clearly right now is stop dumbing yourself down. Stop lowering your light. Stop dimming your light. Let it shine as brightly as possible. And if you feel like someone doesn't like it, who cares? Because you're not living for them. You're living for you, right? You are here to live for you. You are here to live your life. Yes, we are all one, but at the end of the day, everyone is living their own individual lives, right? Everyone is living their own individual lives here on this planet. And as we live our individual lives, we need to be authentic, because there were things that were turned on for you and turned off for you when you came into this world for a reason. The things that were turned on need to be used. They're there for a reason. You don't have a gift of of psychic ability or telepathy or working with energy manipulation or whatever it is, interdimensional travel. You don't have those gifts for nothing. So stop being afraid of your gifts. Stop being afraid of your gifts and stop dumbing them down. I am challenging all of you watching now and in the future. I am challenging all of you to begin taking steps. And it's okay if it's not something that you are 100% comfortable with right now, and it's really hard for you to just bust out of the closet, whatever closet you're in. It's really hard for you to bust out of that closet right now. I understand that, but start taking steps. If you can't just bust out, I'm a proponent of busting out. But if you can't just bust out, stick a toe out and then an arm. And as each piece of you starts to come out, you will see that it's okay. It's okay. Fear is an illusion. The fear that is built into the fabric of this world is an illusion, and it keeps us down. It keeps us suppressed. It keeps us depressed. Because when you suppress your gifts, you become depressed. Why? Because your soul is unhappy. A lot of times as a healer, I recognize, and from my own experience in healing people, that a lot of times depression comes from your soul being unhappy because you are not doing what it wants to do. It is not in the driver's seat. Your conscious mind, your ego is in the driver's seat. It's in the trunk or the passenger seat, and it can't get in control. And so it starts to create a negative feeling, that depression that starts to set in, and it starts to affect your entire life, especially emotionally. But it also can start to give you physical issues. So when your soul is unhappy because it came here to do certain things and it wants to be expressed, your spirit wants to be expressed. But if you are holding it back, how in the world is it going to be able to do what it came here to do? You're going to end up coming right back and doing it again because you didn't listen and because you couldn't get out of your own zone of fear. So hear me when I say this. Authenticity is one of the first steps to awakening. As long as you remain inauthentic, as long as you remain suppressed and depressed, you will not be able to step into your light. You will not be able to allow your light to shine, and you will not be able to awaken because you are too anchored in the fabric of this current deception and illusion of society, of the world. You are too anchored in that. So it's time to release the anchor, release the shackles, release them so that you can fly, so that you can expand. Your light can expand as far as it wants to go into oblivion, into infinity, because this is your potential. And some of you may say, well, I can't do that because my family this, my friends this, blah, blah, blah. Get new friends, first of all. Second of all, family, you can't necessarily, you can get a new family, that's not blood, but okay, your family does not have control over you. First of all, no human beings should be able to have any control over you. So if you're saying I can't because this and that and this person and that person, you are allowing people to control you. Let's be real clear about that. You are allowing people to control you. And are you here living for you, or are you here living for them? because each one of us is not here to live for anyone else but ourselves. Okay. So understand that. So if you have family, for instance, spirituality, right? A lot of people are afraid to show their real spirituality because they may have a religious family. I personally have half my family is Muslim and half my family is Christian. I literally have a Christian mother, a Muslim father, a Christian sister, and a Muslim sister. And then there's me. So I have so I have all of that, right, going on in my family. Am I able to be myself? Absolutely. Absolutely. And does everyone respect that? Not everyone, but most people do. But you know what? People will respect you how you respect yourself. People will treat you how you treat yourself, how you show up in the presence of your authenticity. That's how people will see you. Now, if I was like, okay, I'm doing this stuff, but I'm all meek and mild about it, well, then they're going to feel like something's wrong with it and be able to feel like they can have an opinion. But when I state my views and I stand in my authenticity of who I am, of what I believe, then it's very hard for anyone to combat that, right? And it's not even about a combat. It's not about a fight. It's not about an argument. It's not about any of that, because personally, I don't argue. You're going to be arguing all by yourself because I don't do that negative energy. Nothing good comes from an argument. A conversation, yes, but an argument, no. So I'm not talking about being combative, just to be clear. I'm not talking about being combative. What I'm talking about is simply standing calmly, surely, in confidence in your authenticity. There's a difference between I'm being me, and so I'm going to be against you. I'm going to push against you and push against you because I want to be me. For instance, people who want to just rebel against society in any way that they possibly can, but they're doing it in a very negative way. How about just being who you are? You don't have to do it in a negative way. You don't have to revolt in a very negative way. You can just simply exist as you actually are. This is what will change the fabric of society, and not suppress your voice when it needs to be heard, not suppress your expression when it needs to be expressed, right? That's what I'm referring to, living in your authenticity, because there's too many people not living in their authenticity. And some of you may be living in your authenticity some, but there's certain parts that you're like, that I'm keeping to myself, that I'm going to, no, we're not doing that, right? When I'm around these people, I can't do that. Or in the entire world, I can't let them know this about me. You guys know I'm an open book, so there is absolutely nothing. I'm very open about everything in my life. So authenticity, I live in authenticity. Did I always know? Because again, when I was born, right, we're all born into this world, and we're born into this fabric of society, and we are brainwashed to think a certain way and things like that. But as soon as I was able to awaken, which I awakened from that in my teens, okay, and some of you have yet to awaken from that, and that's okay. Everything is in divine timing, okay? But when you awaken from that, this is when you can start to actually express and start to actually live your life. And let me give you an example from a real life story. I'm not going to say the person's name, but someone that I know. We were having a conversation. This person is a healer, and they do a lot of spiritual things. They do readings and all kinds of stuff. And they said to me one time that as soon as they realized that they were going to get into this type of spirituality and start putting themselves out there and things like that, they said, at that point, I knew that I didn't want to, but I had to become a vegan. I was like, no, you don't. Who said that? Again, boxes, because she had in her mind that this is what a spiritual person looks like. Again, a box. This is what a spiritual person looks like. This is how they dress. This is how they act. This is what they eat. This is this and that. First of all, none of that has to be true. How about living in your authentic self? Do we all have to be vegan? Absolutely not. Do we all have to act in a certain way? Absolutely not. Do we all have to live in a certain way? Absolutely not. As we raise our vibration, we naturally start to vibrate higher. We naturally start to move away from certain things and start to gravitate towards other things. But don't put yourself in a box. So even when people think that they are being authentic or moving towards, okay, we're elevating, we're moving, you are still putting yourselves in boxes. So a lot of times we put ourselves in such a pretty box, we don't recognize that we're in a box. Again, thinking, asking questions, thinking outside the box, and truly doing what it is that makes sense to you. If being vegan makes sense to you, then it makes sense to you. If it doesn't make sense to you, then it doesn't make sense to you, and it's not for you. So we don't. This isn't a one size fits all world. Okay, that's not the reality of of what we're here to do. We're not here to be one size fits all. We are unique individual beings, right, in this illusionary plane. Okay, we are here to walk and move down our very specific path. We don't belong in boxes. So stop letting people put you in a box, and stop putting yourself in a box. So any societal norms that have you feeling chained, that have you feeling blocked, that have you feeling limited, I need you to break those. I need you to push those to the side and say, I'm not going to pay attention to those anymore. I don't care if everyone else believes it. I don't care if everyone else says this is so. I'm not doing it. I need you to begin revolting from that so that you can awaken and revolt even more and come into your true self so that we can begin to change this fabric of this world, which is exactly why we're here, as this passage is talking about. And again, begin tuning in. All the answers that you have are inside of you. Allow your soul to be your guiding light. Allow it to be in the driver's seat. Allow the divinity that runs through you to be your guiding light. Allow Mystic Temple and the Book of Rashida to be your guiding light. Okay? Not what society says, not all these boxes and categories and rules. Begin having confidence and believing in yourself, because our society has taught you that you're not worth anything. Our society has taught you that your worth is based on something else, XYZ, whatever it is, your job, how much money you have, your status in society, whatever it is. That is what tells you your worth. That's a lie. Your worth is your worth. You are worth everything, regardless of what anyone thinks, regardless of what this society says. So breaking free from that, starting to allow yourself to be confident and get your power back and remember who you are. First of all, stop being realistic, okay? Realistic. I'm going to talk about that for a moment. Stop being realistic with everything. When you create a goal, oh, I need to be realistic. What does that mean when we say that? And in relation to goals, we try to dumb the goal down, because what are we actually saying there? We're saying, I don't believe I can reach that. That's not realistic. Okay? Remember, you make your reality. Realistic is subjective. Realistic is in direct relation to your beliefs about yourself. Message. Okay? That's what's realistic. So do you believe that you can reach here, or are you just going to shoot here because in reality you don't believe you can get here? I need you to start forgetting here and go up here, okay? Start reaching the levels that you want to reach, because there is nothing that you can't do. There is nothing that you can't actually achieve in this world. I don't care where you come from. I don't care how far back you're starting from, the finish line, whatever that finish line is for you. It doesn't matter. Is it possible, and do you have the potential to do it? Absolutely. Doesn't matter what it is. You do, okay? So I need you to remember that. Start believing in yourself. Start removing those shackles of disbelief, of self-doubt, of all of those things that are within your chakras, that are within your mind especially. These are mental patterns and limiting beliefs that are drilled into you. Even if you have a parent that tells you that you can do anything, a lot of times as you start moving through society, that starts to dumb down. It starts to dumb down. So for those of you who recognize that as an issue, and even for those of you who don't, look within and ask those questions and see what that is for you. But allow yourself to be your own guiding light, and allow yourself to start to believe in yourself and start shooting for higher heights. If those are what you want, don't shoot for a higher height just because it's higher and that's not what you actually want. Again, that's why I'm talking about focusing and being in tune with who you are in your soul, and allowing that to be in the driver's seat, because it'll never lead you wrong. If you feel guided to do something, do it. And stop talking yourself out of it. Just do it. Believe in yourself. Now, for those of you who have a hard time doing that, because I know that's easier said than done, go to the Facebook group and go to the Mystic Temple Facebook group and go to the shamanic journey that I put there. That will help you. You can use that same type of shamanic journey to actually release these negative emotions, to release these blockages, to release these limiting beliefs. Obviously, you can go to Mystic University and sign up for the All Access Pass. And we have over 60 courses. At this point, we have over 65 courses now, all on spiritual evolution and all kinds of stuff. So definitely go there and do that, and you will change. Just 1 month and you will change. And continue on, and you will just continue to elevate, because that's what we're here for. But I need you to understand that this is extremely important right now for you and the collective and the world. This new world that we're moving into, we are the ones who are creating it. And I want to go back to the part of the passage today that says, tell them now who sent them, who sent me. Again, talking about the divinity. So I want to reiterate that we are not alone here in any of this. As we are transcending, as we are breaking these chains, as we are awakening and revolting, we are not alone. As we do that, the universe is right behind us. The universe is pushing us. The universe is with us. The divinity is with us. This massive force that we are all a part of is with us and moving with us and continuing to help us move forward and creating this new world. So we are not alone in this. We are not alone. We have the ability to transcend all of this, and it doesn't have to take long. And lastly, another way that we can begin to change the very fabric of this world, as this passage is talking about, is starting to act in compassion, starting to act in human connectedness and connectedness with nature, and really putting out love vibrations and good energy. And again, that starts with healing. That starts with healing. Because if you have things inside of you, traumas and things like that, when you are moving through the world, you are doing that as you are using that as your baseline. That's your foundation, is trauma and negativity. So of course, as you take actions from that foundation in this world, they're going to be negative, right? You're going to experience jealousy. You're going to experience negativity. You're going to not want others to win. You're going to all of those things, right? Because it's coming from a foundation of trauma and negativity. And again, that's very low level energy. As we begin to heal that and we begin to raise our vibration, we begin to transcend those layers. If you think about it as layers of negativity, right? And then positivity and more positivity, then divinity, then, everything builds upon itself, right? But when we transcend this layer of negativity and we start to go into those higher layers of elevation, that's when that stuff no longer even exists, and we're able to experience and vibrate as pure love. We're able to experience and vibrate as compassion and happiness and all of those good things that we like, right? And this begins to, again, like I said earlier, as we change, the fabric changes, because the fabric is made for us. This illusion, this fabric of this illusionary world that we're in is made for us and also depends on us to exist. I want you to really understand that. That was the gem I just dropped, okay? I need you to understand that. It depends on us to exist. We coexist with this fabric. We shape this fabric, and this is how we can create our own reality. We shape this fabric. And as we collectively move into higher vibrations, the fabric begins to change. And no longer will we live in a world where it's really, really rooted in fear-based things. No longer will we live in a world where we can't be ourselves, right? This is the world that we are moving into. This is the world that we are creating. And again, this is why the Book of Rashida and the Cosmic Collective Consciousness has come here through me now. So again, I call to you all now and challenge all of you to begin breaking those chains right now, even if it's just a little nip you have to do. If you can't break the whole chain, you can. But sometimes it makes us, we have to get up to it, right? So start taking steps now to break those chains. Start breaking those chains. Start living authentically. Start stepping outside of whatever box other people and yourself have put you in. All the labels that we have for ourselves, stop that as well. Because when we label ourselves, we're slapping ourselves with a stamp of that kind of energy. And then it's very hard for us to get out of that, which is why I don't really believe in many labels. Okay, it's very hard in the world that we live in because of the human language and everything. We speak in labels, but what I'm telling you is let go of the labels that you have put on yourself. Let go of the labels other people have put on you, and create not your own labels, but create who you actually really are without labels. Because the reality is we change. So even if you fit a particular label right now, that doesn't mean 2 years from now you're going to be that label. We grow and change. And if we're not growing and changing, that's a problem. That's a problem. So cut it with the labels. Stop the labels. Stop allowing other people to label you. Stop allowing other people to put you in boxes, and begin to live in your freedom. Begin to actually be free. And I tell you, when you start doing this, your vibration will begin to change. You will begin becoming more confident. You will begin being happier. You will begin to awaken as you start to do this, because you are stepping more deeply into yourself as you step out more fully into the world. And stick with me from divinity session to divinity session, and you will be free. You will be liberated, guaranteed. And with that being said, I'm now going to speak love, life, and authenticity, okay? And revolution in all of you at home, using the divine language, okay? Epimo, epimo, epimo vectusos ishna. Ishna vectusos, Ishna, 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 Ishna destu vectusos, emabicosa, emakalisi, emabicosa, emakalisi, emabicosa, emakalisi, emabicosa, emakalisi, emabicosa, emakalisi, Ishna, 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 Ishna vectusos destu, Ishna vectusos destu, emakalisi, emakalisi, ema, emakalisi, 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 emabicosa, 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 lehate bicosa, lehate bicosa, lehate bicosa, lehate bicosa destu, lehate bicosa destu, eshna popo eshnasha, eshna popo eshnasha, eshna popo eshnasha. And now I will say a prayer in the divine language, which essentially means peace be unto you. Zor Kumti. And I'll see you next time.
Rise up from the dark, no more fear. See the truth, awaken here.